I look over at Ryan out of the corner of my eyes. He's sitting over there with his camera. Then I look up, I can see horns coming through the little alder bushes, you know. And thinking, damn, that ain't a very big bull.
Then it's going to be a dead bull.
Yeah, that's a big enough bull. And he's coming down, and I got my bow right out in front of me, right? I'm sitting there on my knees. I'm starting to really shake, you know. Yeah. He comes down, he stops, he comes this way, he comes that way, and pretty soon he comes down. He's coming right between us. Me and Ryan are only 20 feet apart. And he starts across the trail, and the trail's this wide in there. And I wait until he gets right to the outside of that trail, and I let him have it. He runs out off the road. He's got much of an arrow. I know I've got him good. A little high, but he's good. Closer to knock my arrow off the rest. Me and Ryan were set up about 20 feet apart when he started down the hill. And if he'd have jumped one way any at all, he'd have lit on either one of us. We hunted hard for 3 days and went way up high. I was lazy this morning, so we took the upper river route. Just kind of taking it easy and wandering around. I screwed a bull up earlier. It was coming and I didn't think he was. And then we found this patch of good timber. Just wandered in here and cow-called a little bit. Heard branches breaking and this little bull, I mean, he's a dink, but that's all right. I'm happy. Yeah, after you hunt for 4 days, 3 or 4 days hard, you like them little dinks. Okay, well, that's 10:30, it's been a half hour. I know he's right there. It's time to go. So I start sliding off the hill looking. He's still standing there. I'm watching. He's just standing there.
How far away was he?
There. Probably 80 yards in the timber,
yeah.
You know. But I mean, there was enough stuff there, you know, where I couldn't. Then he starts up the hill. So we just watch him, and we watched him for quite a while. He just kept walking and walking until he walked out of sight. And he gets down there, and I'm looking for blood, and I'm just, you know, right there. Jeff, psst. What? There he is. He laid there all piled up, you know, and he's going this way, and just
piled right up.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's what I get for 4 days of hunting my butt off in Idaho. We've seen bigger bulls, but this one will do. This one will do. Makes me happy.
Stinky.
He does stink, yeah. Yeah. Every time I move him, he stinks a little worse, too. Hey, it didn't really go that far, though. Got, what, 400 or 500 yards, probably. But we found it. Got the meat down by the creek, cooling out, waiting for the pack horses. And we're taking the head and the back straps back to camp to brag and have dinner.
When ASAT Nation returns, we head back to Montana, but this time, cameraman and ASAT Pro staffer Ryan Callahan will be in pursuit of a big mule deer with his bow. You're not going to want to miss this. This portion of ASAT Nation is brought to you by 24/7 Supercharged Granular Scents. Eastern Montana is known for its great deer and breathtaking views. That is exactly why Ryan Callahan chooses to pursue his first mule deer buck with a bow here. In 2005, Ryan and cameraman Zach Poff set up on the side of this ridge where they had been seeing a nice buck traveling down in the evenings. Ryan is sitting on the ground about 50 yards from these deer and looks as if this attempt will prove unsuccessful. That is until the buck spots Zach and spooks to within 30 yards of Ryan. Well, it appears a little buck fever and yardage that was misjudged made this hunt one for the memory books. After the break, Ryan has yet another chance at his first Montana mule deer. This portion of ASAT Nation has been brought to you by Grim Reaper Broadheads. Watch 'em drop. Before the break, Ryan Callahan had a chance at a Montana buck in 2005. Now it's the 2006 season, and Ryan and Zach are back in the same area where they were the year before, and the search continues.
Any plans?
I guess we have to go sit on our butts for a while. I'd like to come back here tomorrow, or tonight, or I don't know, I got that other spot I want to check out too. But we gotta go talk to some people, make sure we can still get on where we did get on. Sure things haven't changed too much.
After many long hours of sitting and glassing, the first day of scouting draws to a close, leaving tomorrow the day hopefully Ryan gets to actually hunt. The next morning, Ryan and Zach go out just to see if they can find something moving, knowing that if they're going to close the deal on one of these wily bucks, their best chance is going to be in the evening. Later that day, Ryan decides to go back to the same spot where he'd missed the buck the year before. Well, let's just say it proved to be a wise decision. This time, Ryan was set up further down the drainage, because if you remember, the bucks passed Ryan at about 50 yards and worked down the drainage. The only reason he had got a shot was because cameraman Zach spooked the buck back up to Ryan.
That's the same buck you shot last year.
I think it's the exact same buck I shot last year. Really?
By looking at the footage from last year on the right, compared to the footage on the left, the racks do have many similarities.
Watch it crazy angle.
See if it do the trick.
Is that absolutely crazy?
Although the arrow did hit high, because the buck was lower than Ryan, the angle, good equipment, and a little luck made up for the misplaced arrow shot.
That arrow. You could tell by the way he was running when he was running down the hill that he was not very happy. Yeah. Well, there's definitely bigger in here, but man, that summer coat is so sweet. Look at that.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Nice wide spread. Just a 3x3, but we chased him around for 3 days yesterday because he was so cool looking. Or last year. He's a little bit cooler this year.
When we return, Ryan tells us what was going on in his head when this buck was coming to him. Don't go anywhere. ASAT Nation will be back after this. This portion of ASAT Nation has been brought to you by Alpine Archery, true bow hunting performance. Before the break, Ryan Callahan connected. Well, we'll let him tell the story.
Alright, so yesterday we roll in about, I don't know, about 6:30, right as it's getting light enough to see, and we see some absolute dandy bucks. A couple of big whitetails, a couple of huge muleys. And so we come back to the same spot that we were in last year. And kind of go to the exact same spot where I missed this buck last year. And kind of get settled in, figure out some shooting lanes, snap a few ranges with the rangefinder, and then Zach starts going, big buck, which is pretty typical for Zach. And as soon as I looked up, I saw him on the skyline, came through the exact same spot where he did last year, and it's the same buck. And I drew a special mule deer permit out here, and I was kind of told myself I was going to wait for one of the nicer muleys that we saw yesterday, but I just couldn't pass him up. It was about 26 yards, pretty severe downhill angle, and I hit way high. Thought I might have messed that one up, but I could tell by the way he was bleeding and the way he was running that he wasn't going to last very long. And he came out here about 200 yards from where he was hit and dumped over. And from the amount of blood that's on the ground, I think he was toast by the time he hit the ground. But it's a darn nice buck, and it's the first antlered thing I've ever killed with my bow. Lots of big velvet.
Next week on ASAT Nation, we head to Saskatchewan with ASAT Pro staffers Jim and Michelle Leckby as they try to tip over a couple of big northern Canadian black bears. ASAT Nation, committed to bringing you the most exciting half-hour outdoor television show possible each and every week. ASAT Nation is brought to you by Grim Reaper Broadheads, 24/7 Granular Scents, Alpine Archery, Montana Black Gold, Ripcord, Hunting Science, and ASAT Camouflage.
Alright, should we get down to the dirty deed?
Yep. Have you ever done this before?
What? Get naked?
Or clean a deer?
Huh?
Or clean a deer?
I've read a few articles. And I've lost a few watches.
This week on ASAT Nation, Rob, Jeff, and Ryan head to the Cross Mountain Ranch in northwest Colorado for an unforgettable rut elk hunt. 3 bulls down in just over an hour using archery equipment. Too hard to believe? Well, sit back and see for yourself. This portion of ASAT Nation is brought to you by 24/7 Supercharged Granular Scents, Grim Reaper Broadheads, watch 'em drop, Alpine Archery, true bow hunting performance. The guys couldn't wait to get to the ranch. The temperature was dropping and it was starting to spit snow. The weather change meant only one thing. The rut was going to be in full swing by the time the hunt started. And for Rob, Jeff, and Ryan, they couldn't get there fast enough.
Alright. Jeff, what do you think this elk hunting weather?
This is great elk hunting weather, isn't it? You're a duck. It was 48, 49 degrees when we pulled into Craig 5 miles ago. Now it's down to 35. It's alright, we'll get all the bad weather out today and we don't have to worry about it the rest of the week. It'll make the ground quiet anyway.
Elk hunting, we're elk hunting, man. Snow, rain, everything. Everything is good. Yeah, we left Anaconda, Montana, picked up Jeff, and he drove us down here. It's about a 10-hour ride from Montana down here to Cross Mountain Ranch in Colorado. You can see it's snowing out. We're kind of chomping at the bit to even go hunt. They said the elk have been bugling really well here, so they shot a nice bull last night. Hopefully if we get one right off the bat tomorrow, and then we can switch off and change camera guys and give Ryan behind the camera a shot. He's always the one kind of been filming.
It'll be exciting for everyone.
Yeah.
What are you looking for elk-wise up here?
Tell you the truth, if I get a chance at one bigger than the one I got in Idaho last year, it's good.
I've taken like 40 bulls with a bow, and I'm not a trophy hunter. If they're bugling and you call them in and you can take a good harvest shot on them, I'm the same as Jeff. It's just a blast calling them. And I think we'll get 3. Little prediction.
It'll be really exciting to see how we get through and all of our crap back in that one truck.
Yeah. Hopefully the snow will quit and
That's
get out and
supposed to be
start hunting some of these elk.
After the break, the guys get unpacked and ready to go, and it doesn't take long for Rob to find exactly what he came to Colorado for. This portion of ASAT Nation has been brought to you by Grim Reaper Broadheads. Watch 'em drop. At the Cross Mountain Ranch in northwest Colorado, you can be sure of one thing: there being lots of elk when you show up to hunt. But the guys had no idea what was in store for them when they headed out on day one. To say that day number one could have ended better is an understatement, but sometimes you just miss. However, the guys knew that with as many elk as they saw on the first day, day number two figured to be more of the same.
Sound like I hit a tree.
So Rob, Jeff, Ryan, and their guide Brett headed back to the lodge for a hot meal and a little ribbing at Rob about his shooting today.
Brett, what do you think as far as elk numbers?
I think that on this in particular ranch is most elk I've ever been able to hunt. I've seen quite a few different ranches, and there's more elk on this ranch than anywhere else I've ever been.
Oh yeah, they're
by
It's
far.
like, just like tonight, there were probably 8 bulls that were within 100 yards of us at one point or another, and beyond those 8 bulls there was 10 other ones making noise.
they were everywhere.
You know,
Just
cows
screaming.
were coming in, bulls were bugling. See 100 elk a day.
Yeah, so that's why we're firing warning shots opening this first day. We just been firing warning shots just to let them know.
Just to range them.
Yeah.
We're gonna let Rob use the rangefinder tomorrow, so he doesn't
tomorrow-
have to see how far he can shoot first
I'm
arrow.
gonna have somebody over my back telling me, okay, that's 20, that's 30.
After a day like the guys had on day one, not a whole lot of sleep was had. Morning couldn't come quick enough, because they knew day two would be more of the same. But what they didn't know was it was going to be even better. This portion of ASAT Nation has been brought to you by Alpine Archery, true bow hunting performance. Day two started off much like the first day. They were into elk right off the bat, and Rob didn't have to wait long to get a chance to redeem himself from his miss the day before.